everybody, welcome to Von Cupcake Yoga. I am your host Gretchen, and we are here to do a full body stretch and feel a little bit better. For today's practice, I will use some blocks, and blocks are pretty easy to find. They're readily available online at your big box stores. If you choose not to purchase any blocks, that's totally fine. Anything roughly the shape or size of this will do well for you. Nice heavy books, those take good care of you. So just have a couple of those available. I highly recommend you invest in a set of blocks. They're not very expensive. They can range between $5 a block to $40 a block, depending on what you're looking for. I'm using cork blocks, but foam blocks work just as well. It's really a personal preference, so find yourself some blocks, but if not, some books work well. And of course, today, as we move through our stretch, make any adjustments for your own body. You want to find that yummy, delicious ache of a stretch, but you don't want to have any actual pain. So learn to listen to your body. And if something hurts, back up out of it and then, try to go into something else or make an adjustment that might be a little better for you. You know your body better than I do. So take a moment and take care of yourself. So we're going to start seated. And your most easiest, most comfortable seat. And if you got any juicy goodness back behind you, just kind of move it out of the way. You really want to feel those sitting bones grinding down into that mat so you feel very rooted down. And maybe we start to close down our eyes. Sitting up nice and tall, and your shoulders are back and down, extending through the crown of your head. Closing down our eyes, or maybe even just lowering them to a focal spot, maybe on the floor in front of you, or a lit candle or something like that. And start to breathe. Making no changes to your breath, just kind of observing that breath as maybe it comes in through your nose, expands your chest and your rib cage, and exhales completely. And take in any noises that may be around you. Just kind of notice that they're there and let them float away on a cloud. Keeping your attention on your breath. Start to deepen your breath, inhaling completely, filling your belly, feeling your ribs expand. And exhale completely, maybe even tightening up those tummy muscles to kind of help press out all that old air that you don't need anymore. We're completely changing the oxygen in our lungs. This is your time. Keep your attention and your focus on your breath. Keeping your mind inside your body will help strengthen that mind and body connection. And on your next inhale, make sure you sit up nice and tall here. And on your exhale, roll that chin to your chest. Let your head feel heavy. Feel the back of your neck opening up. Big breath in, exhale completely. Let that head just kind of sag down, keeping those shoulders back and down. And on your next exhale, maybe roll that right ear to that right shoulder. Exhale. And then maybe we can take this left hand and bring it down to the mat and start to walk those fingers out and maybe back just a little bit while pointing that chin in a couple different directions till you find a perfect custom neck stretch just for yourself. And then breathe into it, inhaling completely, exhaling completely. Let gravity do its thing. And on your next exhale, roll that chin to the chest, release that hand back to the knee. And then exhale that left ear towards that left shoulder. Maybe we bring those right fingers down to the mat. Maybe we walk them out. Maybe we walk them back. Start pointing that chin in a couple different directions. Find that custom neck stretch just for yourself. Inhale completely. Exhale completely. And on your next exhale, release your hand back to your leg and roll that chin to your chest. Take another full, complete breath here. Slowly and very gently start to bring your head back up to center. Sitting up nice and tall here. Extend both those arms up towards the ceiling. Nice big breath in here. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Big breath in. Exhale completely. Let those shoulders sink back down your back. Inhale. And on this exhale, bring that right hand down to the mat. Bring that left hand up and over. Being careful to anchor that left hip down to the mat so that we can extend this stretch right into those little muscles in between your ribs. And if you want to deepen this stretch, you can always walk those right fingers back. You can bend into that right elbow, pressing with your left hand. Find a nice side body stretch here. Big breath in. Exhale completely. Gently draw your body back up to center. Inhale both those arms up. Exhale, we're just going to go to the other side, bringing that left hand down to the mat. That right hand comes up and over, anchoring that right hip down, opening up those little bitty muscles between your ribs. Breathe here. And release. Gently draw your body back up to center. Inhale both those arms up. Bring this right hand to your left knee. Bring this left hand back behind you. Press it into the floor directly behind you. Sit up nice and tall here. We're going to go into a twist and we're going to lead with our belly. Big breath in. Exhale, twist with your belly, then your shoulders, then your neck, and then your head last. For every inhale, make yourself feel a little bit taller. And with every exhale, maybe we deepen that twist just a little bit, and that could be just figuratively in your imagination. Take a couple breaths here. Exhale, release. Gently draw that body back up to center. Inhale, both those arms up. And we're just going to go to the other side here. So take this left hand to the right knee. And this right hand back behind you. Press into the floor right behind you. Sit up nice and tall. And lead with your belly. Inhale completely. Go into your twist, starting with your belly, then your shoulders, then your neck, and then your head. Exhale. Of course, make yourself feel a little taller on your inhale. And maybe on your exhale, you can deepen that twist. If you can't, that's okay. We're just now starting to get moving for the day. Exhale, release. Gently bring your body back to center. And let's extend that left leg out in front of us. Bring that right foot in towards your groin. Doesn't have to go all the way into your groin, just as close to your groin as possible. We want to be gentle with our knees. And then we're going to sit up nice and tall here. Of course, if you got any of that juicy goodness, move it out of the way. You really want to feel those hip bones sitting on the floor. Inhale, both those arms up nice and tall. Pivot towards your extended foot if it's off to the side slightly. Hinge forward at the hips, reaching here nice and forward. Finding your personal edge, and once you do, bring those hands down. Make your back feel nice and flat. And then exhale, maybe we deepen that fold. Maybe we release that chin to our chest. Take a couple breaths here. Start to gently walk those hands back. Sitting up nice and tall, we're just going to do that one more time. Inhaling both those arms up, pivot towards that extended foot, hinging forward at the hips, finding your edge, a nice long stretch up the back of your legs. And then once you find that, bring your hands down wherever they may be, your shins, your feet, your knee. It's all good. Make your back feel nice and flat, and exhale. Maybe we can deepen that fold, maybe not. Release that chin to your chest. Take a couple breaths here. And from here, we're going to take our left hand and bring it to the inside of our left leg. And then we're going to extend this right arm back behind us and up and over, finding a side body stretch here, reaching. Maybe we look in between our hands. Maybe we look up slightly. Maybe we look down. Find what feels right for your neck and breathe into the side body stretch. Exhale, gently release, gently draw that body back up to center. Very good. And now we're just going to go to the other side. So we're going to extend that right leg out and draw that left foot in. Bring it in towards your groin. And that left foot is extended either directly in front of you or just off to the side slightly. It's okay either way. It just depends on what your body's doing. Make sure that juicy goodness is moved out from beneath you, finding those sit bones once again. We're going to inhale both our arms up, nice and tall. Pivot towards that extended leg, hinging forward at the hips, reaching to find your own personal stretch edge, and then bringing those hands down wherever they may be. Inhale, make that back feel nice and tall. Exhale, maybe we can deepen that fold. Maybe we can bring that chin to your chest. Take a couple breaths here. Start to gently walk those hands back. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, both those arms up, reaching, extending through the fingers. Pivot towards that extended leg, hinging forward at the hips, finding your personal edge, and then bringing those hands down where they may be. Make your back feel nice and flat. Exhale, maybe we deepen that fold, bringing that chin to your chest. Gently bring that right hand to the inside of that right leg. Extend that left hand back behind you and up and over, finding a side body stretch here. Inhale completely, exhale completely. Let gravity do its thing. Wonderful. Gently start to release, drawing that body back up to center. And then we're going to draw that right foot in, bringing the soles of your feet together to touch. Make some allowances for your body. Maybe you need to move your belly towards the inside so you can open up your hip mobility here. So if you've got a little bit of a belly, just press your belly towards the inside. And that made me feel like a little more free. You also have some blocks. You can always tuck these blocks underneath your knees. That might provide a little bit of support for you if that is uncomfortable to let them kind of hang out here. So find what works best for you. These blocks are handy dandy things. But once you find your feet, your soles of feet together, draw them as close to your groin as you feel comfortable here. And your knees may not allow that to be out very far, and that's okay. Sit up nice and tall, big breath in. And on your exhale, start to hinge forward at the hips, maybe bringing those hands either to your knees or your shins, or maybe even your feet. Sit up nice and tall here and let your chest start to feel heavy as you start to just lean forward, bringing that chin down to your chest. Breathe here. Let your chest feel heavy as you gently start to melt down. One more full breath in. Exhale completely. Start to release. Start to draw your body back up. Wonderful. And let's go to our tabletop posture, the hands and knees. So we're just going to come on over to our mats, bringing our bodies to our hands and our knees. Make sure you have your blocks up at the top of your mat ready for you. Spread those fingers nice and wide. Maybe those thumbs are pointing towards each other and those fingertips are pointing towards that short edge of your mat. And your knees are directly underneath your hips. Now, if this is crabby for your wrist, you can walk your hands one handprint forward, and that might provide a little relief for you there. Take a moment in your tabletop posture, shoulders back and down, not bunched up around your ears. Your gaze is going to be right in between your hands. Your back is nice and flat. Inhale completely. Start to press into your hands. Tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone, rounding out your spine. Cat pose. Big breath in, and on your exhale, start to slowly drop that belly, arching your back, shoulders back and down, shining that heart forward, cow pose. Inhale completely, tuck that chin, tuck that tailbone, returning to our cat pose. And take a few rounds here of your cat-cow. Breathing into one and exhaling into the other, finding your own personal flow. Being very dramatic. Once we're in our cow pose, maybe it feels good to gently sway your hips a little from side to side. And maybe when we round our spine and tuck our chin and tuck our tailbone, maybe a slight dip of the hips feels good in your cat pose. Take some natural movements here. Find what feels right for you. Focus on moving your body to your breath. Do just 2 more full solid breaths of cat-cow. Excellent. Returning to your tabletop posture, spread those knees nice and wide and bring those big toes together to touch. Sink those hips back. Walk those hands forward, sinking that chest down towards the mat, finding a child's pose here. Take a breath. And as we go throughout our practice today, if at any point you just need a minute, you need a breath, come on down to your child's pose. Take a few seconds here, breathing and reconnecting to your body. And when you're ready, gently press yourself back up to your tabletop, and you can just jump back in when you are prepared to do so. Finding that tabletop posture, shoulders back and down. Inhale completely and exhale completely. And let's extend that left foot back, toes pointing down. Shift your hips so they stay nice and level. And then once you feel a nice stable base here, maybe we can extend that right hand forward, reaching forward with that right hand, pressing back with that left foot. Take a few breaths here. Those wiggles and shakes, that strength you're building. I'm proud of you. Big breath in. Bring that right hand back down. Bring that left knee back down. Maybe sway your hips a little from side to side. And we're just going to go to the other side. So return to your tabletop posture. Extend that right foot back behind you, toes pointing down, heel pressing towards the wall. Take a moment to shift your hips so that they're nice and level. And once you find a nice stable base, maybe we can extend that left arm out, reaching with our left hand, pressing with that right foot. Inhale completely, exhale completely. And gently bring that left hand back down, that right knee back down. Sway those hips a little from side to side. All right, so we got a little bit of our balancing table. Let's take it to the next level. Let's extend that left foot out once again. Heel point, pressing back, toes pointing down. Take a moment to level out your hips and start to sway that left leg from side to side like a pendulum. Just nice and slow from side to side. And then maybe next time your left toes cross over your right foot, maybe we bring those left toes down to the mat. And maybe we look over that right shoulder at our left toes. Finding a little side body stretch here. Big breath in. Exhale completely. Lift up on those left toes. Draw them back up to center. And then bring that knee back down. Sink your hips back just for a moment. Take a moment and roll out your wrists. Give yourself a little moment there. All right, come back to that tabletop. Big breath in. Exhale, completely extend that right foot back behind you. Heel pressing towards the wall, toes pointing down. And start to swing. Take a moment here. Make sure your hips are nice and level. And then start to swing and pendulum that that right leg from side to side. Right and left is hard, man, I tell ya. It's okay. We'll get through it. So swing gently and nice and slow those right toes from side to side. Until next time those right toes cross over those left toes, bring them down to the mat. Maybe look over your shoulder at those toes, finding a little side twist here. Beautiful. Lift up on those toes, draw them back to center, bring that knee back down, spread those knees nice and wide, big toes to touch, sinking those hips back, walking those hands forward, maybe coming down to your forearms, bringing your forehead down to the mat. Breathe here. Exhale, come on back up to your tabletop, and then let's draw this left foot forward. There you go. Finding a kneeling posture here. You've got your blocks, so maybe we frame our foot with our blocks. And we're going to shift those hips down and forward, but we're going to be very careful here not to extend this knee over the ankle just to avoid injury. So if you feel like this knee is extended over that ankle, you can scoot that right knee back a little bit, or you can inch this left knee forward just a little bit till you find a nice, safe way to scoop those hips down and forward, bringing your hands to your blocks, shoulders back and down, shine your heart forward, big breath in. Exhale completely. Beautiful. Sinking down nice and low. Maybe we can bring our hands up to our knee. Big breath in. Exhale completely. Maybe from here we can extend our arms up towards the ceiling. Maybe we can look up between our hands. Maybe a slight back bend's in your practice here tonight. Finding your kneeling warrior, feel nice and strong. Big breath in, and on your exhale, bring those hands back down to your blocks. Press into that front foot, start to straighten that front leg, drawing your hands and maybe the blocks with them back closer to your hips as your left toes start to lift up off the mat. Finding yourself in a half split here, make your back feel nice and flat, and on your exhale, maybe you hinge forward at the hips just a little bit here, finding a nice back of the leg stretch. Release that chin to the chest. One full breath in. Exhale, completely start to bend into that front knee, shifting that body forward once again, bringing those hands back up to frame that front foot. And we're going to take this left hand and bring it to the inside of our left foot and kind of heel toe walk that left foot over to the left edge of your mat. Sinking those hips down and forward, let that left knee kind of splay open. Maybe your toes gently lift up off the mat. Sinking down any further, maybe you can come to your forearms on the blocks. That might help you. And we're coming into a lizard posture, nice and low. Breathe into your body. One more full breath in. Exhale completely. Start to gently press yourself up out of it. Heel toeing that left foot back to center, bringing your hands back to frame that left foot. Big breath in, and then exhale, draw that left knee back to meet the right, returning to our tabletop posture. All right, sway those hips a little from side to side. And then we're just going to go to the other side. So bring that right foot forward. Bring your hands to your blocks. Sinking down forward, taking a minute to adjust for your body. You are worth the time it takes to feel what you need to feel in your body today. Scooping those hips down and forward, bringing your hands to your blocks, framing that right foot. Shine your heart forward, shoulders back and down. Big breath in, exhale completely. Maybe we bring our hands up to our knee, if that serves you today. Or maybe we can extend our hands up to the sky. Maybe you look up between your hands. Maybe a slight back bend in your practice here, sinking nice and low. Big breath in. Exhale completely. Bring those hands down to your blocks. Bring this right hand on the inside of that right foot. Start to heel toe move that right foot over to that far right edge of your mat. Sinking those hips down. Let that right knee kind of splay out as you gently start to lower down, finding your lizard on this side. I'll come down to my forearms, still on top of my blocks. You can use those blocks in any level that you need or not have them at all if that is better for you. Sinking nice and low, breathe into your body. Start to press yourself out. Excellent. Heel toe that foot back to the center and bring that foot or that block over to the right side of your foot. Maybe start to straighten that right leg. Bring those toes up. Maybe scoot those hands a little closer to your hips, coming into a reverse split here. Big breath in, make your back feel nice and flat. And on your exhale, maybe we can deepen a little fold here. Excellent. One more full breath in. Release completely. Start to bend into that front knee. Start to draw your hands back to frame that foot. Big breath in. Press into those blocks of the mat and draw that right knee back to meet the left, returning to our tabletop posture. Excellent. Excellent. In our tabletop posture, shift your hips forward. Finding a kneeling plank here, you can absolutely tuck those toes and lift those legs and find a full plank if you prefer. But in our kneeling plank, slowly start to bend into your elbows, pointing those elbows towards your feet as you lower down with as much control as you have. And that could be a dead flop on the ground, and that's okay. Big breath in, and then start to lift just your chest, opening your chest, pointing those elbows towards your feet. A little baby cobra pose here. Exhale, lower back down. Press into your hands, press into your knees. Sink those hips back, finding a child's pose here. Take a couple breaths, tuck those toes underneath you. Inhaling completely, spreading those fingers nice and wide. Press into your hands, press into your feet. Lift your hips. Find a down dog here. Pressing those hips up and back. Maybe taking a moment to pedal out your feet. And then start to walk your hands back. Walking our hands back to the back of our mat. And then finding ourselves in a forward fold at the back of our mat. Breathe here. Inhale completely, exhale completely. Make room for your body. Maybe we spread our feet as wide as the mat. We can press on our belly to free up our hips. Big breath in, exhale completely. You can always bring your hands to a block here if you like, but maybe some gentle sways from side to side feel good. Hands on your shins. Make a nice flat back here. Shoulders back and down. Big breath in, exhale, fold forward. Bend into those knees nice and deep. Start to press into those feet and roll those spine all the way up, stacking each vertebrae on top of each other until we got our shoulders, our neck, and head all in line. Pressing those palms forward. Finding your mountain pose, your Tadasana. Breathe. In our mountain pose, draw your attention to your feet. Press your toes into the mat, maybe gently shifting forward to really press those toes. And aim to press all 10 toes, assuming you have 10 toes. But press all 10 of those toes, or however many you've got, into that mat. Notice how that mat feels underneath your feet. Big breath in, exhale, gently shift your weight back to your heels. Now we're keeping our toes on the mat, but we're not pressing anymore. Shifting back so your whole heel is on the mat. Feeling that, just noticing. And maybe we gently shift our weight over to the right, feeling that blade of your foot against the mat. Big breath in, exhale. Maybe we shift all our weight to the left, feeling that left edge of your foot towards on the mat. Coming back to center, maybe we close our eyes or find a focal point on the floor or the wall ahead of us. Take a couple breaths here. And if you have any old energy that you'd like to let go of here, start to visualize roots coming out of your hands and coming out of your toes, searching down and down until you find the earth. And take all that old energy, that anxiety energy, and collect all of it around your body. And send it out through your hands and through your feet directly into those roots that you have imagined in your mind. And send that all the way down to the universe. Let it go. Big breath in. Inhale both those arms up. Maybe here we gently press our pelvis forward. Exhale, completely fold forward. Inhale those hands to your shins, flat back, shoulders back and down. Big breath in. Exhale, fold forward, bending into those knees. Start to roll that spine up one vertebrae at a time, stacking them on top of each other until shoulders, neck, and head find that mountain pose once again. And draw those hands together to prayer at your chest. Excellent. We're going to go into a balancing posture today. So draw all of your attention to that left foot, pressing those left toes into the mat, pressing that left heel into the mat, pressing the edge of your left foot into the mat. Shift all of your weight onto that left foot. Feeling nice and secure. The right foot is not holding any weight. It's just hanging out on the floor. Take a breath here, and then maybe we gently bend into that right knee, just bringing those right toes onto the floor. Now, you don't have to go any further than this. This is the pose, but if you would like something more, maybe we lift up on that right knee. There you go. And maybe we pivot that right knee out towards the side and bring that right foot maybe to our shin or up into our groin. We just want to avoid going right at the knee so that we can avoid injury here. Finding your version of tree, dig those left toes into the mat. Find a focal spot. Breathe here. And then maybe we can release those hands towards the sky, reaching up high like a very tall, beautiful, wonderful, amazing tree. Ooh, and it's okay if your tree blows a little in the wind. That's totally normal. If you fall out of tree, just come back into tree. Big breath in, draw your hands together to touch, and back down to your heart center. Release that foot down. Shake it out just a little bit. Give yourself some wiggles here. And then come back to your mountain pose, your Tadasana. Draw all of your attention to that right foot. Press those toes into the mat. Press that heel into the mat. Press the blade of that foot into the mat. Shift all of your weight to that right leg. Maybe we bend into that left knee and bring those toes down to the mat. Of course, we don't have to go any further than that. Drawing our palms together to touch the heart center. Maybe we lift up on that right foot. Maybe we pivot that right knee out, finding our version of tree, either on the ground, on our calf, or up on our thigh. Just stay away from the center of your knee. Now, you may find balance is easier on one side versus the other. That's perfectly normal. Unfortunately, most of us aren't very balanced. I'm not either, but that's okay. I'm wiggling and shifting right on with you, but I have my eyes set on my focal point, and I'm just breathing here. And once I feel nice and steady, I can extend my arms up towards the sky, finding my version of tree here. Breathe into your body. You got this. Finding your focal point, staying nice and tall in your tree. Draw those palms together to touch and down to your heart center. Gently release. Shake it out. Shake it out. Finding your way back. You should be still at the back of your mat. Shoulders back and down, finding that mountain pose once again. Big breath in, inhale both those arms up, maybe pressing that pelvis forward, feels really good here. Hinging at the hips, folding forward, all the way down, bending deep into those knees. Start to walk those hands back forward, returning to your down dog here. Breathe. Pedal out your feet. Maybe sway your hips a little from side to side. It's okay if your heels don't touch the ground. Mine don't either. I'm still receiving the benefits I need. Bringing those knees gently down to the ground. Oh, yeah. And then we're just going to shift forward, finding a seat. Big breath in. Exhale completely. Gently recline back all the way down. Take a moment here. Let your body adjust to being on the floor. Inhale completely and exhale completely. Excellent. Bend into your knees. And maybe gently sway those knees a little bit from side to side. Bringing our arms out to a T, or maybe bending our elbows and finding cactus arms. Get real dramatic with your knees swaying. Maybe that hip lifts up off the floor. And maybe next time your knees are on the right-hand side of your mat, you can hang out there for a little bit. Press your pelvis towards that right side of your mat. And maybe point that left knee towards that lower right corner of the mat. You might feel a nice quad stretch here. And then turn your gaze over to the left. So your face is going to point in the opposite direction that your knees are pointed in. Breathe here in your recline twist. Give your body permission to let go. Big breath in. Exhale completely. Tighten up on those tummy muscles. Draw those knees back up to center. Draw your gaze back up to center. And continue on your merry way with your knees swaying from side to side. We're going to slowly work our way to the other side. So just let our knees gently dictate where we're going until maybe those knees start to get a little closer to the floor on the left-hand side of your mat until they come all the way down. Oh yeah. Press your pelvis towards that left edge of your mat and point that right knee towards that left corner of your mat. And maybe turn your gaze over to the right, finding a reclined twist here. Breathe into your body. Let it go. Inhale completely and exhale completely. Tighten on those tummy muscles. Draw those knees back to center. And then maybe extend those legs out. Bringing your hands to your tummy. Letting your feet splay out to the side. Bring your attention to your breath. Feel that tummy rise when you inhale. Feel that tummy gently waft down when you exhale. Find some peace here in your Shavasana. I'll bring you back. Start to return to your body. Inhaling completely, filling your lungs and filling your belly. Exhale completely. Maybe start to wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers. Maybe wiggle your nose. Big breath in. Extend your arms up over your head. Give yourself a yummy Sunday morning stretch. Maybe you interlace your fingers and press your palms out. Inhale and exhale. Start to bend into your knees, drawing your knees towards your chest, finding yourself in a happy little ball here. Maybe we can rock a little from side to side. That might feel really nice. Until you find your favorite side, coming to a fetal posture, this pose of renewal, this pose of rebirth. Gently, slowly start to press yourself up, nice and easy. Returning to your most comfortable, easy seat. And once you're here, take a moment and breathe. Maybe close your eyes just for a minute while we adjust to this difference of laying and seated. And tonight, as we close our practice, let's draw our palms together to touch at our heart center. And we'll bring honor to the wonderful culture that gave us yoga. The light in me sees and honors, is so very proud of and grateful for the light in each of you. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today on your stretch. I hope you feel so much better. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite part was, or if there's any areas in your body that you're struggling with stiffness and pain. I can try to help come up with some yoga flows specified for what you need. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing to my channel and hitting that notification bell, and it'll let you know every time I post a practice. And then also you can follow me on all social medias under Gvon Cupcake. I'd also like to thank A Little Twisted Yoga Studio for having me here. I also recommend that you do try to find a yoga studio in your area, but I am here for you at home, my friends. Have a great one. Take care. Bye-bye.